Hello, this is Scott from Octava Engineering, and we are continuing the steps for working with a SICK Hyperface encoder with the LineaX3 and the AutoQ software. So in the previous video, we looked at what to do for an incoming motor with a SICK Hyperface feedback, including saving the memory, verifying the incoming alignment, and performing an analytics test to determine the condition of the encoder. In this video, I'm going to show you how to write memory to a new encoder and set the alignment on the encoder to prepare it for your final test run. So let's say I have rebuilt the motor. The previous encoder was bad, but I saved the memory on, I saved the memory from the previous encoder onto my computer. So now I have the motor rebuilt. I've already installed the encoder. So the encoder is already installed and it is fastened down tightly to the motor here. But I need to program it with the motor specific memory, and then I need to align it. So the first thing we're going to do is go to Encoder and Memory, select our appropriate dropdowns, Serial, SICK, Hyperface, the number of pole pairs of the motor, and then auto-identify. Then we'll click on the SICK logo here. We'll hit Start Collection, and then we'll click ID Encoder. So as a refresher from the last video, ID Encoder is just a surface pass to make sure that we can read and communicate with the encoder. I have my feedback cable connected properly, my dropdowns are selected properly. The wiring harness between the motor connector and the encoder itself is okay. So just make sure that we can actually read the data channel on that encoder. So in the last video, when we clicked ID encoder, we could see the encoder information, and we could also see the memory that was stored into the encoder that was specific to this Allen Bradley motor. But in this case, a new incoming encoder is not going to have anything on it. So that means if you were to run analytics, it would say motor type cannot be identified or unsupported motor type, something like that. But you could still read the encoder channels and run diagnostics on the encoder, even if there's no memory stored in it. So the first thing we need to do with this new encoder that we have replaced the old encoder with for this motor is to program the motor specific data onto that encoder. To do that, you can see there's nothing in here in the memory fields. So I'm going to click Create. And then under Input Method, I'm going to select Create and Write. And then I'm going to open my saved memory file. Now, I don't know about you, but I always like to sort my browser by date modified. So the earliest thing that I saved is always going to show up on top. And as you can see right here, this is the motor file that I just last saved for this Allen Bradley MPL motor, A430H. So this is the memory file specific to this motor. So once I have it highlighted, I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to click Confirm. And once it's done, it'll confirm with Write Complete. And now you can see those memory fields are now programmed into the encoder memory. And if you want, you can even click Read Data and then click through the individual data fields to see what memory is programmed down there. All right, so now this encoder is programmed with the memory that I had previously saved for this motor. So I will hit Stop Collection, and I'm ready to move on to perform an alignment. Thank you very much for your time, and we are always available to help. Just shoot us an email at support@octavaengineering.com, and I thank you very much for your time.